Aloha and welcome to Showcase Hawaii, Hawaii's only home shopping show. I'm Wayne Nunez.
I'm Lori Nunez.
We have a great show for you.
It seems like people really enjoy gifting crosses as well as wearing them.
Yes.
It's just a request we get all the time. And so we're always looking for a new style and something that represents Hawaii. So we have this beautiful Hawaiian Scroll Cross Collection.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first time we've offered a cross
with the earrings.
With the earrings, and not only offering it as a set, but we've never had cross earrings in the Hawaiian Scroll.
Right.
So that's a new thing.
So it's very special. I'm also excited that we're offering it in the rose gold, sterling silver, and the gold plated. So we have customers who love actually getting a collection of one of each because they like wearing the different metals
depending on what they're
right. And we have a lot of customers calling and saying how much they love rose gold. And then of course the gold plated is just very popular.
It'll be interesting to see. It's almost like a competition between the finishes. It'll be interesting to see after we feature it, which one comes out on the top.
Right.
Because there are people that strictly
wear sterling silver.
Right. Or and I want to point out, the base of this, the plating is over 0.925 sterling silver. There's also a unique design aspect to the earrings. You can see on screen, there's a little hinge. They're similar to a shepherd's hook.
They call it like a safety
hook. Okay, yeah.
Latch,
so
because
there
it
you
kind
can
of
see
keeps it on. Usually you just have the hook that goes in, but this has that separate latch that you can kind of clasp it back, and it just helps for some people to feel a little bit more secure that they're not going to lose their earring.
Now the nice thing about the earring is the cross is independently attached to the hook itself. So that's where you're going to get the dangle. Almost
the movement. That's really important to me.
And
I
really,
like that.
It shows the bling of the and the design of the Hawaiian scroll.
I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to someone and I'll just see a shimmer, or it's almost like a glare, right? Because it's that sparkle, that reflection.
Catches your eye.
Right. It really catches your eye, and then I'll take a closer look and notice what they're wearing.
Now you see on the screen it says approximately 1 inch tall. That's the cross. Now the hook
really
itself,
good size.
Yeah, the hook itself adds another 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So the dangle is very nice. But if you're looking at your screen, the first one is on the left side is the gold plated, in the center is the silver, and on the right side is the rose gold. It's when the light's hitting it, it's very subtle,
Bling,
the different finishes.
And then I also want to point out, so you can purchase the pendant separately, and then you could purchase the earrings separately.
But the pendant comes with the chain.
Yes,
which is nice.
A big bonus.
And the chain is adjustable.
Right. I like this angle of the photo or video. You can see the depth of the cross. It's not just a thin, flat cross.
Right.
It's got height.
Right.
And so that height makes it extra special. I just find when I'm looking at the engraving, the scroll design, it extends onto the sides. And I just think that makes it extra special. It also makes it look more expensive.
Well, that height that you were talking about gives it dimension. So it makes it look like it's not just sitting flat against you. It gives it that dimension, and it helps reflect the light. Plus, it's a more solid piece.
Yes.
So this is a nice solid piece of silver that you have. And then that engraving just brings out, in the carving in it, brings out that special added feature to the cross itself. As Lori was saying, you can get the pendant or the earrings, or we're having a set special, which is nice. And a lot of people like that.
Right. And I find that throughout the year, people are requesting different crosses from us, because people, like any jewelry, like to have more than one cross in their collection.
Well, and two, a lot of people aren't necessarily wearing it as a faith. Some people are wearing it for fashion, which is nice too. So you could wear it any way you like it,
Right.
in any color.
Right.
This is the first time we're offering this collection, this design, and we're trying to release new designs of all of our Hawaii-inspired jewelry throughout the year. And this is one of the newer collections that we're offering. So you haven't seen this before.
Right.
The other thing I want to point out, the chain is an 18-inch adjustable link chain. So
It's really pretty.
It is pretty.
I like it.
And it's subtle. I always talk about this. You don't want a chain that takes away from
Right.
the pendant.
Right.
And this integrates well and matches beautifully with the pendant. And we always try and keep it a nice flow with the design and the match. And the dangle is really nice on this too. So, with all this tech coming out, I'm pretty tech savvy, I think.
You are.
I mean, I'm her IT person.
Yeah, you are.
And she calls
I
me
admit
to
that.
do all the phone, everything.
Right.
And then I'm to a point where I have to actually level up and ask my daughter, because she's a level higher. She's a higher grade IT person than me.
Yes.
So I was spending, I don't know, a good 2 hours trying to hook up our garage to our smart system that would allow us to control the garage door in order to open it and give codes to everybody so they could open it when they needed to open it at a certain time. Relatives, if they want to come over when we're gone, they could open it. They have their code. And then I could see what time did they come in. Oh, they came in at 2:15.
Why did they stay until 4:15?
Exactly. You said you were coming in at 11 and staying till 12:30, but you didn't say you're staying long. Anyway, my point is, it's, to keep track of who comes and goes, which you should. Water delivery, I could open the garage so they could get bottles and then close it right after. And then everything. So 2 hours I spent hooking this all up, making sure it's screwed into the place. I did go over the instructions.
I didn't know you did that.
Yes, I went over the instructions and I looked carefully that it was compatible for our garage door and everything. So I'm doing this and I'm realizing the garage door is not opening like it says it's going to open. And it's not closing. It's saying it was opened, but it's not giving me the exact...
And I want to point out that Wayne doesn't like reading instructions.
I hate
so
reading
that was pretty good that he read.
Because I can
those
figure it out.
manuals, But
Who
a
needs
lot of times the
instruction?
manual, they're too long. But okay.
Exactly.
And then?
So I can't figure out why is it not doing this particular thing that I wanted to do. So
Like
I'm
close.
reading, going through the troubleshooting, this, yes. So in this little fine print,
Oh,
at
I
the
hate
end of all the instructions,
Oh.
it says, it may not be compatible with some systems.
Oh.
It was so vague.
Oh.
I call up the customer service, and right away they said, "Oh yeah, it's not compatible with that system."
Which
When
you hate calling customer
it says it's
service.
compatible,
Right.
but the fine print said it may not
Oh,
be
that's
compatible.
annoying.
So these smart systems that
Are not so smart.
they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
That and it wastes my time,
Mm.
but it does add a level of convenience that I like. But not all smart systems are smart. But we're pretty smart when we get you these deals. And you
That's
like how I
right.
came back around on
I
that too?
do.
Yeah, we're pretty smart for you. We look out for you all the time. And the really smart thing is, if you need to go to our website, all you have to do is get your smartphone, open the camera app, face it towards the screen in the lower right there.
The QR
You
code.
could point to the QR code and that will bring you right to our site and you're able to order. I want to mention too, this is a great size for any age.
Right.
Because if you have somebody, a keiki that wants to wear something like this, they can too.
Right.
And a lot of kids have pierced ears.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is perfect.
Oh, yeah. And, it just seems to me that people love to have more than one cross in their collection. And each one looks slightly different just because of whether it's gold plated or the sterling silver or the rose gold plated. And a lot of people have been trying different metals. Like if they were only wearing gold or gold plated, then they are saying, well, maybe I'll try the sterling silver. And I've had people call and say, wow, I love how it looks on me. It really is nice against my complexion, and I never thought to try it.
Now, can I just, on that point, just to give you some kind of base point on the metals. So it's 0.925 sterling silver. It's made out of 0.925 sterling silver. And that 0.925 sterling silver has more of a white finish. That kind of grayish white finish. But it also matches with platinum and white gold.
Right.
The 14 karat gold plated, you could see, is more of a yellow finish.
Right.
And people always ask, what's the difference between that and the pink or the rose gold?
Right.
And the rose gold has a pink finish or
Right.
kind of a coppery finish.
Right.
So that's the difference. You can see here the extra chain we have dangling on the side is the part where it adjusts.
Oh, so you can clip in where you want.
Yeah,
If
so
you
you-
want it longer or...
Right, so you could make it shorter. But this is the silver, which is that whiter color.
Well, someone was just recently telling me that they had no idea, all these years, they had no idea that you could clean sterling silver.
Really?
That you could polish it. Yes, and she
all of our
has-
jewelry you could polish.
she's
Actually,
been our customer for years and years and years, but she would always buy the gold plated, and she had no idea. So she was super excited
well,
to find out that you could polish it.
I think that's key to point out. All any jewelry you have, you can
Right.
polish.
Yes.
You just want to do it in a proper way. But if you just take off your jewelry at the end of the day and wipe it with a T-shirt or a microfiber
Yep.
cloth, I even use, the cleaning cloths they give you for glasses.
Yes.
I
'cause
even
it's
use
soft.
that.
That's
So
nice.
they're very low maintenance, easy to care for.
Right.
And they'll keep their shine forever.
Right.
We have a lot of people that their daughters or granddaughters or whatnot, they're already picking the jewelry they
Oh,
want.
I know.
So if you're a granddaughter or daughter and you want to make sure that
You
that
get what you
heirloom
want.
piece is shiny, make sure Tutu takes it off and wipes it down at the end of the day.
Well, I have to say, we are always saying how much we appreciate our customers, but they are a very generous group of people. I mean,
Very
I'm always
generous.
saying, I wish you were my grandma or grandfather, because they're so generous with their grandchildren.
Where they're buying the jewelry and
I
they're
know.
thinking about who to give it to instead of just buying it for themselves and enjoying it.
Right. I
They're
always
like-
say, aren't you going to get one for yourself? Or
Right.
why don't you enjoy it first? Or, I mean, they do sometimes buy a piece for themselves and say, I'm going to, give
Pass
it
it
to
on
someone.
because I know they'll like it. But
Right,
yeah, buy it for yourself
But
first.
on a regular basis, people are just telling me how much they're spoiling their grandkids and, buy them things throughout the year, not just once a year. So fortunate. They're so fortunate.
I also want to point out this is the perfect size, the earrings and the pendant. It's the perfect size to stack. So you see a lot of people wearing
right.
stackable necklaces.
Yes.
If you want to wear it with just a chain or another small, maybe a simple pearl
That's
necklace
nice.
with
That's a
a
nice
single
idea.
pearl or another small pendant, you could do that. Or if you want to wear the earrings with a double piercing, it looks great too. Easy to order. You could give us a call at 888-965-7467.
Or 808-892-3337. Looking for Hawaii-inspired items at affordable prices? Watch Showcase Hawaii at 6:30 a.m., 3 p.m., and 12:30 a.m. every day on Spectrum Channel 1016. These are our Puanani hibiscus bracelets, both in different tones of purple. So this is the lavender with the violet background, okay? And you can see it's got a hinge and then it opens, and then you can just put it right onto your wrist.
Now I have the fuchsia with the purple background. What you're seeing on the screen though is the lavender with the dark purple, or the lavender with the violet.
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing.
Because the violet has a little more blue in it, I think, in that background. So we tried to make sure they matched each other, the two colors, but at the same time were different. So with the fuchsia, you have a darker purple, kind of a purple color. And the contrast, I think, really pops the flower. Now, we put a lot of thought in these. These are exclusive to Showcase Hawaii, just like the other ones we featured.
This is our design.
These are our designs.
And you see it has that gold trim, which is so beautiful. And again, you can put it on with one hand. You can open it, right? And then you can just put it right onto your wrist here. And so you don't need to know your bracelet size.
Right. And you could also clip it under your ear and make it into clip earrings. We never featured clip earrings. No, these are great.
Okay, this is the fuchsia with the purple background. Sorry, I had to get that in really quickly because they're showing it, and I want to make sure you see that it's two different bracelets. Now you can get one of each, or you could get two of this one and two of this one, but you do get two bracelets for $39.99, which is such a great deal.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because a lot of people would say, I want two lavender. We will give you two lavender. Or I want two fuchsia. We will give you two fuchsia. No, I want one of the lavender, one of the fuchsia. We could do that.
I have to say, most people want one of each.
Right. Most people want one of each. But not to confuse things, we still have our black with the gold.
Right.
And then our silver with the white.
Limited quantities.
Limited of everything.
Yeah.
But if you bought the black with the gold, look at how stunning that is with the fuchsia. With the lavender and the violet. See, I'm kind of blown away. I was looking at that because I didn't pair them before, but you can see on the screen we still have these colors too. I want to make sure you know that if you want one of each, you can do that. But let's say you want one purple and then you want one of the silver and white, you can do that. So now we have I know I talk a lot. But what I've tried to say...
Don't get confused. Basically, you can get whatever you want.
You could get whatever you want.
Yeah, any combination that you want, you can get two. Right. I'll make it easy.
Right. So a lot of people were choosing one of each, like you were saying, that's on the screen. That's the gold flower. And then we had the silver flower. The silver is a new addition for us, but people were loving that. But now with the release of the purple, you can add the purple to that.
But I want to show you what's interesting is you might think that you need to only pick the gold. But look at how stunning that looks.
Right.
With the silver in between.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
so
good.
Lori likes to discover these different combinations when we're on air, because when she does that, she's kind of like,
mesmerized.
I didn't even think of that.
But I have to say, it just makes it so fun to wear. And it makes, I think when you're getting dressed or you're ready to go somewhere, or just that process, sometimes it can be stressful. Oh no, what should I wear? I want to make sure I look nice. And does this match or whatever? It's
I don't think that.
Much nicer.
That goes through your head?
Yeah, sometimes. So
that's what takes her so long, and that's why I have a chair by the door, and I sit there and I wait.
A lot of you know about that chair by the door, right?
Yeah, that's why.
So the thing is, though, when you have things that match,
like socks,
whether it's your clothes, your shoe matches your outfit, whatever, your makeup matches, but when your jewelry matches, and you feel like. I don't know, you feel really put together.
Fancy?
Yeah, but even, like, you could be wearing something solid. That makes it easy, right? Like solid black or solid white or solid pink, solid blue, solid purple, whatever. And then you just want to add some color and some design, and then it becomes a focal point. I mean, I just think it's really, it's so neat to have something like this. Now, I do want to also say it comes with its own bag. The reason why we like putting it in, and it is a matching organza bag,
yes.
is because it's easy to gift. And for the person you're gifting to, even if it's for yourself, this makes it easy. So let's say you're traveling and you don't want to wear it the whole time you're on the plane. Maybe you want to take a nap or whatever. You can put this in your bag and then pull it out when you're ready. It also makes it easy gift giving to just give it to someone.
Yes.
Right? See, you don't think about all that.
I don't think about taking my jewelry off while I'm napping on the plane and putting it in the bag and putting it away. But
that's something I
you know, stranger things have happened. I mean, there's some crazy people that will probably take the jewelry off your body while you're sleeping.
But not so much that I wasn't thinking so much about crime.
Oh.
I was just thinking more about, I don't know, sometimes comfort. You just want to take it off
Oh,
for
that's
a little
true.
bit or whatever.
That is true.
But, you know, it depends how long your flight is.
Well, if you're hoping that I would protect you from somebody taking it from you, there's no chance. Because once I get on the plane, earplugs go in, eye covers go on,
Yeah.
I'm out like a light, and I'm not up until she nudges
I
me
know.
and says, get off the
And
plane.
it's funny because, you know, now that we're traveling again, it's so funny because I start to think about, oh, what snacks should I bring? And how should I pack it? And what comforts? You know, like if I had my choice and I had the space, I'd bring like a blanket
No,
and a
you
pillow.
would bring
and
a hibachi if you had the
and
space.
I'd bring like a cooler
Right.
and, you know, like just totally like camp
Yes.
out and have everything all
She would
the
be
comforts.
she would be the one in security that's they're saying, no, you cannot bring your rice cooker because there are no plugs, and you cannot bring
Well, you can
your
bring the rice cooker,
butane
but you just
canister.
cannot turn it on while you're
Right.
sitting in the plane.
and your butane canisters are a no because there is no
No,
cooking
no.
on the plane. Yeah, so
But wouldn't that be awesome if you could like have
No.
your pot of steamed rice and then just be scooping out while you're sitting there? That would be awesome.
it's more awesome just to say want the chicken, not the beef, or the beef, not the chicken, and then they bring it to you.
Although we did recently see somebody with kind of a takeout ramen thing where it kind of cooked and heated itself. That I don't even know if that's allowed on the plane. But that was very interesting.
It was a self-heating ramen. So
Yeah.
all you needed to do was add, if you have a bottle of water and you had this bowl, there was a heat pack, but it wasn't
I don't think you could bring that on the plane to come to.
I don't
think
know.
of it.
So you got to verify. It wasn't a heat pack.
But it's still a neat idea.
It was you break whatever's inside and it warms the water, or it heats the water.
Oh, now I know. Maybe that's kind of like when you're skiing and you
Yes,
have those
the
packs
hand
you break
warmers.
and the
Yes,
hand warmers. That's
exactly.
very interesting.
Can I point
But-
out on the screen that
Yeah.
fuchsia is that vibrant? That's what I really
Yeah.
love about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but you can see there's a few colors going on where you can see all the different variations. And you can choose, you can mix and match. Don't worry about the fact that we only have certain colors on the screen at one time. You can mix and match, but you get two. And you will get that little bag that you could put them in when you take a nap on the plane. So don't worry about that either. But yeah, so we enjoy our food on the plane.
I was gonna say, don't get me started on food, then I lose track
Yeah.
of. Like, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we have a home shopping TV show.
That's right.
Well, you know, I think it is comforting though to have a meal, and sometimes you just don't know how long you're gonna
we're
be
back
on
to
the
food
plane,
again.
at the airport, whatever. So, you know, it's nice to pack a little snack and
Get
keep it.
creative.
Yeah.
Now, we've said this in the past. We've had customers order these, and we have done this too. And if we're on your flight, you might expect a little surprise. So we usually like to gift the flight attendants because they work really, really hard. And have you seen social media lately? all the crazy people on
I
the
know.
planes.
I know.
I don't know how they even put up with some of these people,
Right.
but just so that we make sure that the flight attendants are appreciated or feel appreciated, we like to gift little things.
But that
And
goes,
this is one of them.
That goes to whoever you feel provides you with a nice service.
Oh, right.
It's just a nice way to thank someone or let them know that you appreciate them.
Right. So we
So-
give these to the flight attendants. We've given them to the person at the check-in
Check-in
counter
counter.
because we've had people, I mean, I don't usually go over my weight on my bag because my bag is so small. I wear things over and over again. But sometimes somebody
I
will
know.
go over the
I know.
weight.
What are you trying to say?
You usually go over. So a lot of times that you'll have to pay. And a lot of times the person that's checking us in won't charge us because if you're really nice to them, they want to help you out.
Right.
And as a result, we like to gift them things like this. And the great thing about this is it usually matches with their uniform, but it shows a little bit of aloha. It has that Hawaii tie, and they really appreciate it, especially when we gift it to them in a little bag, because it looks like we gift wrapped it and gave it to them. So it's a lot of fun for us
Yeah.
because these are all over the world because we decided to spread a little aloha to everybody that we come in contact with. Now, don't forget, we have 12 different colors, and you do get a set of 2 colors. So you go into the site, and with the drop down, you can pick which color you want. They're amazing colors. You saw them on the screen. And if you're having trouble, don't forget, you can always give us a call. We're available, and we're happy to help you. Or let's say you don't want to talk to anybody and you just want to message us. Well, you could do that 2 ways. You could email us at contactus@showcasehawaii.tv, or if you're on the home page in the lower right, there's a messaging little button that you can click on and you can message us through that little window and we'll get right back to you. If you're not sitting at your computer and you message us, we will email you the message if you reach out to us. Well, we hope you were able to get in on one of these great deals today.
The ordering process is so fast and so easy, so log on to showcasehawaii.tv.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.